In the vast heartland of China, a great dragon has meandered for millennia. Its name is the Yangtze River. It has nurtured Chinese civilization with its sweet milk and shaped the rhythm of life for hundreds of millions along its banks. Yet, for thousands of years, every stir of this great dragon meant a devastating catastrophe. Its roar once transformed into cataclysmic floods that claimed millions of lives. Taming this great dragon has been a dream that has haunted the Chinese nation for nearly a century. Today, in the center of this ancient country, humanity has used steel and concrete to forcibly implant a heart into this great dragon, a massive artificial organ powerful enough to alter the Earth's own heartbeat. This is the Three Gorges Dam, a magnificent imprint etched upon the Earth's surface, a monumental testament standing at the crossroads of human ambition and the formidable power of nature. Its creation has caused over 39 trillion kilograms of water to pool between high gorges. This colossal mass transfer has actually slowed the Earth's rotation on a microsecond scale, 0.06 microseconds. It is both a source of light, delivering clean energy to nearly 100 million people annually, and a sword of Damocles, hanging over the heads of the 400 million people in the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze. This is not just the story of a dam. It is a story of dreams, sacrifice, conquest, and reverence. It is the story of a nation in its bid to end a millennial nightmare of floods, waging a century-long and still unfinished gamble with its own great mother river. Today, we will part the mists of praise and controversy to explore the true pulse of this steel behemoth and confront the ultimate question. When humans play God, do we create miracles, or do we sow the seeds of future disasters? The concept of the Three Gorges Dam was not a sudden impulse. Its seeds were sown as early as the tumultuous beginning of the 20th century. In 1919, the pioneer of China's democratic revolution, Dr. Sun Yat-sen, first proposed the grand vision of a water conservancy project in the Three Gorges of the Yangtze River in his book The International Development of China. He foresaw that if the river's flow could be dammed here, it would not only facilitate navigation but also provide water power, and more importantly, solve the Yangtze's flood problem at its root. However, in an era of internal turmoil, foreign threats, and national weakness, this was nothing short of a fantasy. The true catalyst was a lesson written in blood and tears. In 1931, a catastrophic flood swept through the Yangtze River basin. Official statistics recorded over 145,000 deaths, but various international reports and subsequent studies estimate that the total death toll, including from famine and plague, could have been as high as a staggering 3.7 to 4 million people. The three towns of Wuhan were submerged for 100 days, and the land outside Nanjing became a vast ocean. This disaster transformed the idea of taming the Yangtze from an economic concept into an urgent issue of national survival. In the decades that followed, from the nationalist government to the founding of the People's Republic of China, generations of leaders and engineers never abandoned this dream. Exploration, debate, and argumentation occurred cyclically. Finally, on December 14, 1994, amidst a complex mix of anticipation and doubt, the Three Gorges project officially began. This was a project that gambled the nation's fortune. Its scale was enough to dwarf any other project in the world. Immense concrete. The entire dam consumed approximately 27.2 million cubic meters of concrete and 255,000 tons of rebar. This volume of concrete would be enough to build a solid wall, 1 meter wide and 6 meters high, stretching from Beijing to Shanghai. Mighty steel. The total amount of steel used reached 463,000 tons, a weight equivalent to the steel used to build 63 French Eiffel Towers. Unprecedented investment. The total investment in the project exceeded $31 billion. At the time, this figure surpassed the annual GDP of many medium-sized countries, and even today is comparable to a portion of the construction cost of the International Space Station. Over 40,000 builders toiled for 17 years at the construction site in the Xiling Gorge of the Yangtze, with the grand ambition to sever the clouds and rain of Wushan. they staged a modern version of the foolish old man who moved mountains. They first used enormous cofferdams to split the wild river in two, poured the dam's foundation on the dry riverbed, and then diverted water to power the first batch of generator units. In 2003, the dam began to impound water and generate electricity. By 2009, the main structure was fully completed. When all 34 of the Three Gorges Dam's giant turbine generator units are running, it transforms into the planet's most powerful pacemaker. The total installed capacity of the Three Gorges Dam reaches a terrifying 22.5 gigawatts, 22,500 megawatts. What does this mean in practice? A comparative look. It is more than 3 times the power generation capacity of the largest dam in the United States, the Grand Coulee Dam. Its output also surpasses that of the world's largest single nuclear power station, Japan's Kashiwazaki-Kariwa nuclear power plant. Actual efficiency. In years with abundant water, the annual power generation of the Three Gorges can exceed 100 billion kilowatt-hours. This figure is enough to meet the entire annual electricity demand of a medium-sized developed country like Switzerland or Chile. It replaces the burning of nearly 50 million tons of raw coal annually, reducing carbon dioxide emissions by about 100 million tons and making a significant contribution to China's energy structure adjustment and its dual carbon goals. However, the beat of this heart is not always strong. The seasonal variation in the Yangtze's water level leads to distinct wet and dry cycles in its power generation. During the dry season, its power efficiency drops significantly. This explains why its annual power generation is sometimes surpassed by Brazil's Itaipu Dam, which has a much smaller installed capacity. The flow of the Paraná River, where Itaipu is located, is more stable. Flood control is the most central and original mission of the Three Gorges project. Its massive reservoir capacity of 29.5 billion cubic meters acts like a strategic sponge, theoretically capable of peak cutting and valley filling the massive floods from the upper reaches of the Yangtze. This means it can effectively defend against floods similar to the one in 1954, which caused tens of thousands of deaths. During several past flood seasons, the Three Gorges, through precise storage and discharge regulation, has repeatedly cut the raging crests of upstream floods in half, allowing them to flow gently downstream, silently safeguarding the peace of megacity clusters like Wuhan, Nanjing, and Shanghai. But this sword is also double-edged. During the severe rainy seasons of 2010 and 2020, the Yangtze's water levels remained critical, and the dam itself faced immense pressure on its storage capacity. To ensure the dam's safety, operators had to make difficult choices, opening the sluice gates to discharge water. Although weakened, the surging floodwaters still posed severe challenges to some downstream tributaries and regions, sparking heated debates about its limited flood control capability. This reveals a harsh reality. The Three Gorges can greatly mitigate disasters, but it cannot eliminate them entirely. In the face of extreme natural calamities, it is a powerful regulator, not an omnipotent terminator. The Yangtze has long been known as the Golden Waterway, but the treacherous section where the Three Gorges are located was once a nightmare for navigation. The current was rapid, hidden reefs were everywhere, and only the most experienced sailors could navigate it. The completion of the dam has turned dangerous rapids into a calm lake. The upstream water level was raised by nearly 100 meters, and the channel was deepened and widened, allowing 10,000-ton fleets to travel directly from Shanghai to Chongqing, dramatically reducing travel time and risk. To allow these behemoths to cross the 180-meter-high dam, engineers designed 2 ingenious systems. 5-level ship locks, like a water staircase. These allow vessels to climb up or descend the dam in 5 steps, a process that takes about 4 hours. Super ship lift. An engineering marvel, this ship elevator can lift a 3,000-ton vessel, along with the water it sits in, 113 meters vertically in just 40 minutes. It is the largest and most technically complex ship lift in the world. These two systems have increased the Yangtze's cargo capacity by more than 6 times and reduced transportation costs by nearly 30%. In 2023, the cargo volume passing through the three gorges exceeded 170 million tons, a record high. This reshaped Golden Waterway is now fueling the economic development of Western China with unprecedented efficiency. Beneath the grand engineering narrative lies an equally immense story of sacrifice and cost. Behind every gigawatt of electricity, every flood crest held back, and every freighter that passes smoothly through the locks, there is a somber other side. The formation of the Three Gorges Reservoir meant that an area of over 1,084 square kilometers, roughly the size of Hong Kong, was permanently submerged. On this land, there were once 2 cities, 11 county seats, 116 towns, and thousands of villages. 1.4 million residents were forced to bid farewell to the homes they had inhabited for generations, the farmland they depended on for their livelihoods, and the land where their ancestors were buried, undertaking an unprecedented mass relocation. Although the government invested heavily in resettlement and compensation, for many, what was lost was far more than material wealth. The severed clan ties, the submerged cultural relics, and the psychological trauma of displacement are immeasurable by money. This was an enormous sacrifice made by a generation for the sake of a national strategy. The impact of the Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze's ecosystem is profound and irreversible. The dam blocked the migratory routes of fish and altered the hydrological conditions, dealing a devastating blow to the rare aquatic life of the Yangtze. The Beiji dolphin, revered as the goddess of the Yangtze, was declared functionally extinct in 2007. The Chinese sturgeon, known as a living fossil, was officially declared extinct in 2020. Their disappearance is considered the result of the combined effects of the Three Gorges project, overfishing and shipping pollution. The dam became the last straw that broke the backs of these ancient species. After the massive reservoir was filled, its immense weight altered the regional crustal stress balance. Water seeped into rock fissures, lubricating fault lines. This has led to an increased risk of reservoir-induced seismicity, with a marked increase in the frequency of micro-earthquakes in the reservoir area. At the same time, the frequent fluctuations in water levels have exacerbated geological disasters such as landslides and collapses along the banks. The ultimate fear, a dam break, the sword hanging over 400 million people. This is the most chilling point of all the controversies. Beneath the seemingly impregnable facade of the Three Gorges Dam lies an unavoidable ultimate risk, a dam break. Should this massive barrier holding back nearly 40 billion tons of water collapse due to an extreme natural disaster, a military attack, or a structural failure, the consequences would be a catastrophe unprecedented in human history. A wall of water tens of meters high would sweep downstream with thunderous force. The city of Yicheng, the first in its path, would be razed to the ground within hours. The flood would then surge onward toward Wuhan, Nanjing, and finally Shanghai. The lives and property of 400 million people along the banks, as well as China's most vital economic belt, would face annihilation. In 2019, a satellite image allegedly from Google showing the dam distorting and deforming went viral online, causing a global panic. Although Chinese officials and numerous experts quickly debunked the claim, explaining it was a satellite imaging algorithm error, and that the dam's elastic displacement was well within safety standards, the incident remains like a thorn, deeply embedded in the public's collective subconscious. It serves as a reminder to everyone that the safety of this dam allows for absolutely no margin of error. Today, the Three Gorges Dam continues to operate day and night. Engineers are trying to use artificial intelligence and big data to more accurately predict water inflow and optimize power generation efficiency. New passage channels, such as a rail-based dam crossing system, are also being planned in an attempt to further unleash the potential of this golden waterway. However, the true significance of the Three Gorges Dam has far surpassed the engineering project itself. It is like a prism, reflecting the complex dilemmas humanity faces in the 21st century. The desire for development, the modification of nature, the power of technology, and the enormous risks that follow. How should we judge it? Perhaps the answer lies not in a simple calculation of pros versus cons. The real scrutiny is whether we can learn from this great gamble with nature. In the future, when we face the next Three Gorges level decision, can we think about our relationship with this planet with more reverence, more prudence, and more comprehensiveness? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to my channel.